Good morning. Second time I've gone live today. If anyone caught it earlier, they'd have been lucky enough to see me on my morning walk around the Bristol Harbour. I was a little bit bored, so I just figured I'd go live on my walk. Yeah, hope everyone's doing well. Had a good game week 24 so far. I'm just going to stay on this screen for a little bit because we're a little bit early. So yeah, we'll have a little bit of chat with the chat and then get on to things with the stream. Oh, good to see you, Larry, John, Paul. Hope things are well with you, Paul. Remember you saying about your kitten yesterday. Hope you're doing good, mate. Thomas, Phil, good to see you all. Let us know in the chat how you got on last week. Still this week, isn't it? Just watch your 13-minute video. Love it, mate. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. We had a nice little walk around the old Bristol Harbour. Don't know why I got a coat hanger here. It's on my desk. Ooh, I think I would. Hello, Jason. I think hits. Excuse me. Hits are so like player specific. For me, Jason, it's really hard to answer that question. It depends who you're buying and selling, really, to see if it's worth a hit. John's on 93 points. Love that. Boxing Hotspur. Well, the Moyes tip. It's done well so far, isn't it? I mean, we've got a. Obviously, we got the challenge against Liverpool, but the reason I picked David Moyes is because I like the potential upside of him getting a result out of that game. I think there's a possibility that Everton could. And I always felt the assistant manager chip is best deployed on managers playing tough teams or teams higher than them in the league. Utility Massage, good to see you, mate. Hope you're doing well. Hey, Paul. Who did you sell Chris Wood for, though? That's the question. I would say I'd rank it definitely acceptable if you sold Chris Wood for Gakpo, and not too bad if you sold him for Wissa. It's unlucky that he scored a hat-trick and you sold him, I would say. Ollie Historical 89, love it. 3 to play, 5 doubles. I think I've got about the same. I'll just I'll show you guys my team in a sec. Triple captain paid off. Yeah, you're not done too badly on Salah triple captain. Watkins, Rodgers, and Emery's are my thoughts for a -8. But maybe I only think that way because this week's going well. Yeah, I'm also... Watkins obviously left the field with an injury. Rodgers has dropped 3 one-pointers in a row. So I'm not too sure about Rodgers at the moment. I've got him, but I wouldn't... I don't know. I guess if he's got a double game week, you'd be loath not to buy him, I suppose. But yeah, just with the other players that Aston Villa have bought as well, you know, are his minutes and Watkins' minutes like guaranteed. 85 points for Utility Massage. Munoz, Palmer, and Mbumo still to play. Love it, mate. Good shout on Njai as well. I think all the teams that double do blank. Indeed, they do. Paul's got Gakpo. Yeah, fair enough. So you got Gakpo and Wissa, that works. Good to see you again, Laura. The real one, who's benched this week? Wissa, Cliver, Isak, Rodgers. No idea, mate. It's really hard to make team selection decisions ahead of game week 25 when we don't know who's doubling yet, I've got to say. Sold Wood for Wissa. It makes sense, mate. I know Wood scored his hat-trick and, you know, but I would say that's a sensible move and you've just been unlucky. This is Wood's first hat-trick of the season, isn't it? Right. Someone's asked me how I got on. Hopefully you can read all this. So I'm currently 26k overall, which is, yeah, nosebleed territory for me. 90 points. Obviously I have Moyes, my assistant manager, who sits on 12 points. Hopefully you can read all this. I've tried to fit it all on screen from Fantasy Football Hub. So I had Sales and Aina, double Forest defence. So I'm pretty pleased with their clean-o against Brighton. 7-0, by the way. Can anyone see that game being 7-0? Trent with his clean sheet obviously left the field with what looked like a bit of a quad injury. Just question marks as to whether he'll be back for the derby. And obviously if they double in 25, is it worth having him for that? I've got Lewis Hall. Did not expect Newcastle to lose that game. I thought they actually genuinely had a chance for a clean sheet there, particularly at St James's Park. Rodgers, Palmer and Mbumo. Obviously Palmer and Mbumo still to go. Rodgers, his third one-pointer in the Premier League in a row. So he did nothing. Barely any XG, XA accumulated. And got himself a yellow card. It was a stupid booking as well. Silly challenge. Salah with his brace. He's my captain. I mean, whatever. Everyone's got him captain or triple captain this week. Gakpo, just an assist for him, but fine. Isak, disappointing against Fulham, and he goes into Man City in a relatively tough fixture run coming up. So I think question is, if Villa double in 25 and Watkins is signed off fit, is it worth doing Isak to Watkins for a double game week? Who knows? And then obviously Chris Wood, the legend, with a hat-trick. So yeah, that's how I got on. I'll leave that on screen for a little bit. I'll go through all the fixtures once we get to about 9:15. Talk about the games, bonus points, etc., and we'll do a proper review. Semenyo did look dangerous. He's on my bench, mate. He's still there. Next week, though, I've got, I know there's a lot to go still. But next week I have a horrific benching headache. So I don't know if you can read that. But obviously it's all really uncertain as to who is doubling or whatever. But I've got Semenyo or Wood. Basically, I have to bench one of Semenyo, Wood, or Isak this coming week. Painful. You can't really see that on this screen. I'll leave it on the live one. There we go. You read that? That should be good. Yeah, 12 points for David Moyes. We'll take that. We've obviously got his free hit. Well, it's not a free hit, but you know what I mean. His punty game against Liverpool. I just feel like Everton are decent now under Moyes. I really do. They've kind of got that new managerist bounce. They're pretty good defensively. Obviously, 2 clean sheets in a row in the Premier League now. Scored 4 goals. Excuse me. Scored 4 goals against Leicester. I think they could get a result out of Liverpool. I don't think it's outrageous to suggest that. Sorry, guys. I just need to go and grab a tissue a sec. I'll be back in a minute. Whenever I stick my really bright light on, it makes me sneeze. Apologies, guys. Would you bring in Rodgers for Ahmad or Gordon? My gut feel is I'd probably do it for Ahmad. Score prediction for the Merseyside derby. Honestly, I'm probably coming into this biased because I have David Moyes as my assistant manager. But I really do think Everton can get a result out of Liverpool. I think they could draw that game. I think 1-1 could be a fair result for that one. Alex, I will be holding Wood for as long as humanly possible. Yeah, he only needs 2 more yellows for a 2-match ban. At least it means that there's no risk of him getting banned before a potential double game week. And to be honest, if he picks up, I'll actually be quite happy if he picks up a 10th yellow after that double, because it gives me a reason to sell him, because I'm kind of running out of patience with him. Despite the fact that I've continually sung his praises and said he's the best cheap midfielder in the game. Yeah. Also, to be fair, I feel like Kluivert's probably overtaken him a little bit in terms of the best, but he missed that. That was a horrific miss. If anyone saw the miss against Liverpool that Kluivert made, that was horrific. Still a very respectable rank, Alex. Good to see you, my friend. Thoughts on Sarr to Kluivert? Yeah, I don't mind that. I'm not sure I'm massive on Sarr, but then we say that and he scores a hat-trick against Man United. Lalix, no, I don't think it's serious. I don't think it's serious. He is a bit of a fitness monster, is Ollie Watkins. I'm just going to have a look on Twitter to see if there's any news on it. My gut feel is he'll probably be back for Gameweek 25, just with the way the dates and stuff land. Let's have a look, see if there's anything on Twitter about him. Bear with, guys. I'm just gonna have a look. West Ham have just signed Evan Ferguson on loan by the looks of it. Pretty good signing, actually. No, I don't see any major news on that Watkins injury. I'm just going to tweet that I'm live now as well, actually. Bear with. Come join. I've not seen anything on Watkins. My gut feel is he'll be back though for 25. I don't know. He's never had an injury really in his career. FPL Siege on 106 points. Love to see it. Glenn 76 with 4 left. Not used assistant manager. Interesting that you've not used a chip this week. That is interesting. I triple captain Salah this week. Emery, yeah, that's my thinking, Lloyd. I think I will go from David Moyes to Emery next week. Yeah, I just like the upside of the table bonus you get from the assistant manager. I think it's so powerful. And obviously Slot is decent. You can have him for the 2 game weeks, just eat up the points. But I like the points potential from the table bonus. Yeah, I don't think I've had it either. I'll just check FPL a sec. Ew, have I? I don't know. Have I had the points? I'm not sure. 90. Yeah, I've had the points. We've got 12 for Moyes there by the looks of it. It has worked. How many transfers have I got? I have 3 transfers going into this coming game week. So I must say I feel in a very fortunate position here because I've got a team I'm largely happy with. 3 free transfers. I already have Rodgers and Robinson who have a chance of doubling, and then I'm tripled up on Liverpool. Good opportunity. And also I think if Spurs lose today and they get through in the Carabao Cup, Ange Postecoglou could get table bonus against Fulham if they double. There's a lot of what ifs there, but could go for Ange as your assistant manager as well. Yeah, Pickford getting an assist in 9 seconds. Mental. I was close to doing sales to Pickford. In hindsight, I probably should have done it, but hey ho. I'm quite glad I held on to my transfers there. By the way, guys, we've got 145 people watching. Thank you very much, by the way, first of all, for tuning into the stream. And if you haven't already, I would really appreciate it if you could leave us a like rating on the stream. And all you need to do to take part in the chat is just subscribe. It's completely free. Subscribe and you can take part in the chat. I'm just going to check how many likes we're on at the moment, and then I'll get back to the chat. 25 likes. We can get to 100, I reckon. We can get to 100. After so many continuous weeks of sadness. Melinda, fair enough. Dango or Clivert? I think you've got to go Clivert for the penalties. But if you're really short of money, Ouattara's obviously 5 million. Don't think you're playing Castagna. That's interesting. I'd play him. Whistlewood, Isak, benching headache. I've got a similar one, JJ Games. Just wait and see. Your decision might get made for you. You know, one of those players is playing today. They could get injured. Anything could happen, right? So I just keep your options open there. You don't need to make a decision yet. Yeah, Frostbolter, sometimes you can't get all the points. I rate that. Being patient and sitting on your hands is worth it sometimes. Harry's Army, good morning, mate. Boxing Hotspur, time to sell Isak and work towards getting Haaland back? Nah, not for me. Time to sell Isak, potentially. If Villa double and Watkins is fit next week, you could go Isak to Watkins. I don't think that's horrific. But for me, I've had Haaland, right? I've had Haaland all season long apart from the last 2 game weeks. And the reason I sold him is because I don't think he's worth the money. And you're just not going to captain him. You're not going to captain him ahead of Salah, ever, really. That's quite an interesting question, actually, Lanix. I don't think Chris Wood is a buy. I think Chris Wood is a hold. If you've got him, you got a hold, you would. But I wouldn't actually buy him, I don't think. I don't know what you guys think about that, but I wouldn't be rushing Chris Wood into my team. I know he's just scored a hat-trick, I know. But I also think Brighton, they're not very good. And they also only seem to play really well when they play Man United. But other than that, they're not very good. I would say, as Alex said, I would definitely buy Wissa over Wood at the moment, 100%. Oh, Lloyd, we're in the Haaland Club together, mate. Enders, 72 points and still a red arrow. Yeah. It's just the quality of players around your rank, mate. Still a long way to go this week. Yeah, transferring out Isaac to get Wood is very knee-jerk, isn't it? Kingdom of Kai. Mate, you've got to use... I went through something very similar last year, mate. I won't go into too much detail out of respect to her and, well, myself, to be honest. But you've got to realise that there are other people out there for you. That's number one. Second of all, you've got to work on yourself and just focus on recovering. And third, just use it as fuel, man. Use it as fuel to work really hard, get in the gym, get in really good shape, build a business, do whatever. Just use it as absolute fuel, mate. You'll be absolutely fine, trust me. And if you want to get in touch with me, someone who's gone through something similar, I'll just change screen. I'm here on Twitter, mate. Just give me a shout. Just give me a shout. I've got a few resources that will help you as well. You'll be okay, Kingdom of Kai, I promise. I was tempted to transfer Watkins over Isak if they double, but minutes look worse each day. Yeah, absolutely. Someone asked me earlier on, what do I think of the Rashford transfer? It's fair enough. I mean, Villa are obviously going all in on the Champions League, but their squad is quite big, and they've got a big squad. They've got a big squad for attack and not necessarily for defence. So there's so many good options in attack for Villa now. You're not going to be able to predict how they play. Nick, if you want to talk to me on Twitter about it, I'm happy to. I'm not going to talk about that on stream if that's all right. It's not something I want to make public. But if you want to know more, if you want to talk to me personally, you can. I'm going to keep it away from that on stream if that's okay. I'd probably note that being forced to do the assistant manager, exactly, man, we can just spend all our money after that. Someone was saying they've become the Rachel Reeves of FPL, which I quite enjoyed. Greg's had a nightmare. Somehow managed to play your wild card. Oh no! Pretty confident Rashford will be sick for Villa. We'll see. I hope he is, because I do like him. I like him as a human being, but as a footballer, as a Man United fan, he's been really frustrating because you can just tell it's all his attitude and his desire to want to be like the best footballer. So I hope he can refine that at Villa. There'll be less pressure on him there. There'll be less pressure on him there. When will we know which team's blank in 29? When we get the double announcement for 25, mate. Got to wait for the Carabao Cup results. I'm just going to go on mute again while I blow my nose. There we go. Sorry about that. So I've got a couple things for you guys. I'll let the chat choose what they want to do. I've got a sorry, a bit of tissue on my... That's disgusting. Anyway, we can either do the quiz or we can go through the results and talk about the games that happened yesterday. So I'll leave it up to you. We can do the quiz first or we can run through the games. Let me know in the chat what you want to do. Robinson's on double-digit assists now, absolutely. Adam, love that. Best wishes from Dublin. Good to see you, man. Have you ever had any swimming competitions in the sea? I don't really swim in the sea. I've had one in a lake. I did a 2K swim in a lake when I first got back into swimming. But most of mine are... Everyone wants to do results. All right, let's do the results. Most of my swimming competitions are indoors, mate. Let's talk about the game, shall we? Forest 7, Brighton 0. What a comeback that was for Forest. I don't think anyone could have... well, I predicted, I think, a... Oh, Lloyd, you're too kind. I'm flattered. There we go. I don't think anyone could have quite predicted 7-0. I didn't think Forest had 7 goals in them. But yeah, very impressive. Also, that wasn't a fart, that was my chair. Yeah, hat-trick for old Chris Wood. I think that's his first hat-trick, Premier League hat-trick ever, possibly. He scored, other than that, he scored 1 brace this season, I think. Most of the rest of them is just all 1 goal. So he's usually a 1 goal a game kind of guy, and then he blasts in a hat-trick. What I love about Chris Wood, I say this all the time when I talk about him, but 17 goals from 23 games this season, 14 goals from 20 last year. So he has got 43 starts and 31 goals over the last couple of seasons, which is just insane. And his bonus, what's his bonus? Where do you see his bonus points? Where are the bonus points? Bonus points, yeah. He is a bonus magnet. 34 bonus points from 17 games. So he is averaging 2 bonus points a game. Insane. That's a really good spot, actually, Alex. I didn't realise how good his bonus was. And he is just an absolute slotter, isn't he? Wood is indeed very clinical with his finishing. There's no premature shooting for Chris Wood, let me tell you. Gibbs White goal, Neco Williams goal, Jota Silva goal, 3 assists for Alanga. He's in pretty good form recently. Although, yeah, pretty good. 11 attacking returns from 18 appearances. Quietly going under the radar, I think, is a good option. But fixtures, not great coming up. Fulham away, Newcastle away, Arsenal at home, Man City at home. 4 relatively tough fixtures. But then, other side of that, they get quite good again. I think that's about it, really. Talk about that game. 6 saves for Sells as well. So he got some nice bonus points. My keeper. I'm a little bit worried about owning Sells going into Newcastle, Arsenal, Man City. But, you know, those keepers against the big teams, there's saves bonus on the table there, right? So, yeah. Sells, what a legend. What a legend. So that's that game. Anything else to talk about Nottingham Forest, Brighton? I think that's about it, isn't it? Liverpool 2, Bournemouth 0. If Kluivert finished his chance, that would have been 2-1. I thought Bournemouth should have scored in that game, really. Liverpool were probably lucky in the end not to have got away with that clean sheet. Salah with a brace, assists for Gakpo and Curtis Jones. Salah is pretty much on course to break the FPL points record. 238 points after 23 matches. Crazy. Obviously, that 24th is going to be played next Wednesday. Gakpo Jones with the assists. 3 bonus for Salah, couple for Alisson, 1 for Robertson. Semenyo did look good in that game. Semenyo does look lively. So did Kluivert. I mean, he missed his open goal chance. Well, it wasn't a complete open goal, but he missed an absolutely huge chance. So yeah, Bournemouth's still good. It's obviously Liverpool just the best team pretty much in Europe at the moment, isn't he? You're getting Sells in 29 for Pickford. Semenyo looked lively. I think Kluivert, game for game, is probably better than Rodgers, but Rodgers has an opportunity or a potential double game week in 25, so I don't think you can say that just right now. Everton 4, Leicester 0. 12-pointer for David Moyes. He won't come up here. Got some big points for David Moyes there. Beto with a bloody brace. Anyone who went for him, fair enough. I was looking at FPL review during the deadline stream, and it told me to bring in Beto, and I was like, I'm never doing that. And he goes away and scores a brace, so fair enough. Pickford only made 1 save, mate, which is why he didn't get any bonus. He was close, but he just didn't get the BPS required. Doucouré and Njai with the other goals. Assists for Garner. Obviously Pickford with his assist after about 5 seconds. 1 for Tarkowski. Pickford only made 1 save that game, which I think suggests how bad Leicester were. 3 bonus for Beto, 2 for Tarkowski, and 1 bonus for Njai there. Everton look good under Moyes. They look good. Obviously next up is Liverpool in Game Week 24. I think they have a genuine chance of getting a result. And I thought that all along, especially under David Moyes. They've really had a bump in terms of their form. They're able to score goals, as proven. They've just put 4 past Leicester. I really do think in the final Merseyside derby at Goodison Park, they could get a result. I really do. I'm not sure they win the game, but I think they could get a draw. Ipswich, Southampton. I don't know about you guys, but I really felt that Ipswich would win that game, but they didn't. Goals for Aribo and Onuachu. Goal for obviously for Delap for Ipswich. Delap is a sensational striker, by the way. He just just playing for Ipswich, I think, is holding him back a little bit. You're not really, I don't know about you guys. I must say, I'm not really interested about Ipswich or Southampton players at all, to be honest. One thing I would definitely say is that I think the 3 promoted teams are just going to go straight back down. I think that's my conclusion from that. Ben, Gordon to Clivert, João Pedro to Wood or Wissa. I'd wait, mate. I'd just wait and see what happens with Gameweek 25. Because if Rodgers doubles, Villa double, that could change everything, I think. Newcastle 1, Fulham 2. Fulham beating Newcastle at St James's Park. I think, is that back-to-back defeats at home in the Premier League for Newcastle now? It is, yeah. Lost 2 in a row at St James's Park. Yeah, Murphy with a goal. Quite a lot of people might have had Murphy on the bench, I'm thinking. Raul, Jimenez and Muniz with the goals for Fulham. Raul is their starting striker. Muniz playing like a bit part role. Both are still performing and scoring well. Robinson with an assist puts him on 10 in total, I think, for the season. Yeah, 10 assists in total for the season. What a legend he's been. Fulham do have a potential double game week in 25 along with Spurs if Spurs get through in the Carabao Cup. So, yeah. If Fulham double, I think I will find it quite tough not to bring in Raul Jimenez, I've got to say. Even though his minutes are not like groundbreaking, he's sort of playing 60, 70 per game. I think with his penalties and goal scoring form this season, he is a pretty good option to bring in for the double. It's just, the question is, will it be worth selling Chris Wood? We'll see. No one's got Andreas Pereira, have they? Max bonus for Muniz, 2 for Raul Jimenez. That's about it, really, isn't it? Yellow card for Robinson. How many is on for the season? Is he on that many? He's on 5, okay. That's all right. He's not a worry. Final game, Wolves 2, Villa 0. I watched most of the game, and I got to say, I thought Wolves were really impressive under their new manager. They didn't necessarily play Villa off the park, but they worked them off the park. I think Villa looked tired after the Champions League game. They always seem to be like that in the Premier League, don't they, after Champions League fixtures. Goals for Bellegarde and Cunha. Cunha just signed a new contract with them as well. People suggesting should they bring him in. He certainly looks like a decent option from Game Week 28 onwards. Well, even that Fulham game, to be honest. Fulham at home, Everton at home, Southampton at home, West Ham at home, Ipswich away. God, that's a good run, isn't it? Spurs, Man United. So from 27 to 33, 20 to 35, sorry, that's a really good run. And to be honest, Man City away is not a bad fixture. They're pretty good from that point, aren't they? And he's just signed a new contract, so... One thing I would say about Cunha, though, is I don't really like him. He obviously ripped the glasses off the Ipswich coach, and he's a bit of a diva on the pitch as well. I remember I saw FPL Raptor tweet, and I remember seeing it on the highlights. When the first goal for Wolves went in, he didn't even celebrate it because it wasn't him that scored it. So, interesting one. Assist for Hwang in Sarabia. Obviously, yellow card for Cunha. Couple main talking points for Villa. Obviously not the result. They were pretty crap, to be honest. Yellow card for Rodgers. Rodgers has dropped 3 stinkers in a row in the Premier League. 0.03 XGI, 0.05 XGI, 0.08 XGI, 3 in a row, and 3 petulant, silly yellow cards, which puts him on 8 for the season. So he is 2 yellow cards away from a 2 Premier League game ban for his yellow cards. And they're all just silly. Yeah, Cunha took his shirt off after the goal, didn't he? Max bonus for Bellegarde, 2 for Cunha, and 8 Nori and Totti shared the 1 bonus. 8 Nori looked really good in that game, but he did come off with an injury. So just one thing to bear in mind. His attacking stats, to be fair, though, under the new Wolves manager, he looks far less dangerous than he did under Gary O'Neill. But he looked really good in that game. So that's it for the results. Anything else people want to say about the games before we go on to the quiz? To be honest, mate, I don't know why it's taking the shirt off is a yellow card worthy offence. I don't know what the justification is for that, really. He's injury prone, is he? Fair enough. we can discuss tonight's games. I did some score predictions. You might think some of them are a bit wishful. I thought Brentford Spurs is going to be really high scoring. I went for a 3-3 draw. Man United Palace, I went for a 1-1 draw. I think that's a fair prediction. And then Man City, I think they just edge it against Arsenal. I think Arsenal are just a little bit toothless in attack at the moment, whereas Man City have a little bit more. I think both teams score. Man City just scrape it 2-1. I think the Marmouche, Savinho, Haaland, that front three is pretty dangerous. So that's my predictions. Let us know what you guys think. What are your predictions for the Brentford Spurs game? Let us know. What do you think is going to happen in that one? Let us know in the chat. While you do that, I'm just going to check Twitter, see if there's any Watkins updates. Do 4-1 Brentford, bloody hell, 4-2, 4-1, 3-2, 5-2, 2-2, Brentford 2-0, Brentford 2-1, 1-1. Do you think if Tottenham lose this game, Ange is gone? Do you think this is the final nail in the Ange coffin? What do we think about Man United Palace? Laura's going to be there. I hope for your sake, Laura, Man United get a win. Unfortunately, I think it's going to be 1-1 though, if you were to ask me. I think it's going to be 1-1. I think it's going to be 1-1. That's my feeling. Alex thinking 6-2. Yeah, he probably stays until the cup game, doesn't he? I've gone 1-1 Man United Palace. To be fair, I do think it's a game that Ismaila Sarr could do well in, because Man United will attempt to play a high line and I think will be got at on the counter-attack. And I think counter-attack in football is where Ismaila Sarr really stars. Agree. Just want the players to show up. I agree. What about then Arsenal Man City? That's a big one. Oh yeah, no Eze. I think Eze's injured at the moment, isn't he? What about Arsenal Man City? I've gone 2-1 Man City. I think they just edge it because they've got a better attack right now. I think Arsenal, like I said, are a bit toothless. So I've gone 2-1 City. But it'll be close. Be a close game. City 4-1. Bloody hell. Not many teams go to the Emirates and win 4-1. I think it probably is Nketiah. 3-1 City, 2-1 City. Yeah, fair enough. I think Marmouche could be a factor in that game. Tottenham just signed Kevin Danzo. They needed a centre-back. Keith will remind me tomorrow. Love it. I'll be live again tonight. I usually make a video on Sunday afternoons to go up on Sunday evening. Like an ultimate guide where I go through all the expected points, etc. for Gameweek 25. And I love making that video, but I don't want to come across as just like a content grifter. And also, because we don't know what Gameweek 25 looks like yet, I can't really talk in much detail about expected points and stuff. So as much as I love making a Sunday upload, I can't justify it with the lack of information we have at the moment about the games. Also, someone's saying, how many likes are we on? 64. We got 243 people watching now and 64 likes. Let's try and get to at least 100 likes by the end of the stream. It really helps me out in the algorithm if you can like the stream as well. Oh, Keith's an Arsenal fan and he's backing them to lose 4-1. Fair enough. I had to play Gabriel. Yeah, he's got a chance, hasn't he? He's got a chance. I also think Guardiola, every time I see Guardiola play, he's got a chance of scoring a goal. Thank you, everyone. Yeah, please leave a like on the stream. It really helps me out in the algorithm. It's completely free. And if you subscribe, you can take part in the chat as well. All right, that's the games. Should we do the quiz then? I've got 5 quiz questions. I may have given one away. If anyone caught my earlier live stream when I was on my morning walk, I may have given one of the quiz questions away. So let's do the quiz. Go on then. So it's not just one this week. Who are the highest scoring players so far this game week? It's not one, is the clue. It's not just one. I'm just going to check that I got it right. Oh, God. Oh, God. No, it is just one. Ladies and gentlemen, the answer is one. I did this before the bonus points got confirmed. The answer is just one. It's just one player. I've got the question wrong. The answer is just one player. It's just one. Sorry, ladies and gents. You're gonna have to excuse me here. I think most people know the answer to this question though. Whoa, the chat's going mental. The chat is going crazy. I love it. I'm going to take a screenshot of that. That's brilliant. Everyone's loving wood. Keep spamming wood in the chat, everyone. I want to get a screenshot of the chat with everyone saying wood. So keep typing wood in the chat, please. I want the full chat next to me to say wood, and then I'll do a screenshot. Oh, this is huge. Everyone's got wood. That's brilliant. Hang on, we're nearly there. Yeah, everyone's woken up with wood this morning. I'm going to do a tweet right now. Bear with, I'm just tweeting. I'll show you in a sec. Oh, that's I've got a terrible steal, but anyway. Who cares? Hang on, I'll show you what I'm doing. Not just me woke up with wood. Oh, that's the wrong screen. There you go. Everyone said wood in the chat. It's brilliant. Yeah, sorry. I wasn't showing you. That was my bad. Also, I don't know if anyone saw, there's this guy, FPL Olympian, who was slagging everyone off and saying Chris Wood was a bad pick. And he tweeted this morning, he's on a jet ski. He's like, yeah, I got it wrong with Chris Wood. I'm on a jet ski. I thought that was quite funny. I've no personal beef with him, but I did find it quite funny that he was hating on Chris Wood. Yeah, they said, how is a Burnley reject only 2 goals away? I was like, that's quite salty. So I did have a laugh at his expense, but nothing personal. Nothing personal. It's just a joke about Chris Wood. But I thought if you got sent that GIF as well, Nelson going, haha, that'd get under your skin a little bit. So yeah. Anyway, we don't like negativity about Chris Wood. Question number 2 then. So all of the silhouettes we're going to show this week are relevant players for Game Week 24 so far, right? So who is that? Who is that? They're all relevant for this week. They're all relevant. The guesses are flying in. The guesses are flying in. Honestly, though, Marv FPL, genuinely, I know Wood scored the hat-trick, but if you think about the chessboard of decisions you could make before the deadline, I think selling Chris Wood to get an assistant manager in was not a bad decision. I also think selling Chris Wood to get Gakpo in was not a bad decision. And also, selling Chris Wood for Wissa, if you needed to free up the cash, for example, was also not a bad decision. So he's obviously scored his hat-trick, but when you think of like the chessboard of decisions that you would have had before the game week 24 deadline, selling Wood could have been one of those. So you've been unlucky if you did get rid of him, I think. The answer is Abdoulaye Doucouré, by the way. 2 people have said Doucouré, or 3 people have said Doucouré. I'll give it to Paul because he's put his chat message in before it's gone. Amateur said Doucouré. Who else said Doucouré? There's one other guess for Doucouré. Went early on as well. Alex got it. Someone else got it as well. Who else said Doucouré? Cortex said it. Someone else said Doucouré. I've lost them. Oh, that's it. Hlombe said Doucouré as well. So well done, everyone that said Doucouré. Next question. David Moyes, the assistant manager legend of the week so far. How many points is David Moyes on so far? Oh, I had a granola bar before this live stream. And it's stuck in my throat a little bit. Cortex calling this quiz easy. Let's find out, man. Oh, sorry. Okay, I see. David Moyes is not on 31 points because... so I'm going to give you guys a helping hand. He's not on 31 points because you couldn't activate the assistant manager yet. So it's how many points has he actually scored in FPL so far? So he's not actually on... So everyone that said... All right, I'm just going to go with the answer because it's confusing, isn't it? Everyone that said 31 is right because they got this week's points right. So if you said 31 or 12, I'm going to give it to you because you get it. You're smarter than I am saying 31. I didn't even consider the points you got last week. So I'll give you that. Well done, everyone that said that. Question number 4, you got 2 more left. Who's that? Another silhouette relevant from this game week. Who is that? Nico Obilana. I like Nico. It's Nico, isn't it? I love how he's gone for the elections recently. That's really funny. Answers are flying in. Cheers, everyone. By the way, if you haven't already as well, please leave a like on the stream. Please leave a like on the stream. The answer... Sorry, my phone was just buzzing like a mental case there. And the answer is Beto. So well done, everyone that said Beto. He's got quite a long neck as well. Well, I've got quite a long neck as well when I want to. See that? Long neck. 2 long neck people. I probably shouldn't have revealed my long neck, to be fair, on stream. Anyway, it does have quite a long neck, does old Beto. So there you go. 2 human giraffes on stream right there. Question number 5. How many goals have been scored so far in game week 24? I may have given away the answer to this this quiz question on my earlier live stream. So if you took part in my walk around the Bristol Harbour, you probably know the answer to this one. But how many goals have been scored so far in game week 24? God, the chat's going mental. How good. It's lovely to have you all here. Thank you very, very much. Thank you very, very much. 5 out of 5. Have a lovely day. Tom, mate, I don't know. Could it be 21? I think everyone's had a successful quiz today, haven't they? I think everyone's had a successful quiz. The answer's 21. So well done, everyone that said 21. Good job. Well done. Who got 5 out of 5 then? I think there might be a few 5 out of 5s there. Who got 5 out of 5? Let us know. Let us know in the chat if you got 5 out of 5. Abby Johnson, 4. Glenn, 5 out of 5. Harjit, 0. Cortex. Oh, of course I'm happy you got 5 out of 5, man. Alex got 5. Fantasy FC, 2 out of 5. Both have got long necks, to be fair. 4 out of 5, but came first in 2 of them. That's fair enough. That's fair enough. There's no prize, I'm afraid, for the quiz. It's just pride. It's just pride. Maybe I should keep a leaderboard, but it would be unfair to start a leaderboard now because you kind of forget about all of the history. Tom's 18k overall. Love to see it, man. Good for you. I love it, mate. Good for you, man. Every title sorted this week. I can't wait. 18k overall by Gameweek 24, 25 transfer plans. 18k overall, my chip strategy for the rest of the season. 18k. I'll put it in your Tinder bio as well, mate. Oh, for me, I'm 26k overall actually. Not 18. I've gone up 18,000 places, but I'm definitely going to use it in my titles. You're on a red. What's happened? Philly loves Raul Jimenez. By the way, if you haven't already, FPL Tom, legendary FPL content creator. Check him out. And good mate of mine, of course. We might. I don't know. One of the things that was making my phone buzz was Tom sending me a message. I think I asked him if he wants to do a stream at some point, and he said definitely. So hopefully we can link up and do a stream. Yeah, Wisser, I think, will propel you up the leaderboard if he does well, mate. I do. I think Wisser's the one for you this week. You need him. You need Wisser to do bits. I think Tottenham Brentford's going to be a pretty high scoring game, isn't it? Let's be honest. If you haven't already, by the way, folks, please leave us a like rating on the stream. It's Sunday morning. You join me for a bit of FPL chat. I'm up early on a Sunday prepping this one. If you're enjoying it, leave us a like. That's all I ask. Totally free. And subscribe if you want to take part in the chat. I'll probably, I can't even get my words out. I'll probably be live for another 20 minutes or so. And then I'm going to shoot off back to see my family today, if that's all right. I can't actually, what's going on? I can't even watch myself at the moment. There we go. How many likes are we on? 116. Let's see if we can get to 150 by the end of the stream. Yeah, Jim, we don't want to talk about Haaland, though. There's lots of what ifs, aren't there, mate? Lots of what ifs. I'm pleased with myself that I kept faith in Haaland for as long as I did. I kept faith with him until he turned into a differential, and then he just continued to not perform. So I'm happy I sold him when I did. I'm happy, to be honest, that I kept him for as long as I did. The only players' points I missed out on really this season was Saka, when he was scoring like a mental one over Haaland, really. That was what I really missed out on. I'm just going to blow my nose a sec, guys. I have pressed the conservative button for adverts. That's not to explain my political affiliations. That's just I don't want too many ads on the stream. Apparently, Moana is a good film, though. My flatmate said she watched it a few weeks back and said she really liked it. So it's not really my kind of thing, but apparently it's really good. Will Fulham blank in 29? It all depends on if they double, mate. It all depends on if they double, which we don't know yet. All depends on cup results. 3.2k overall for Nigel. He played his bench boost. That's sensational, mate. And he got 11 still to play. Fair enough. Fantasy FC, 83 points with no chip use. Why didn't you use your assistant manager, mate? What was your thinking behind that? 2 double game weeks in a row, and you didn't use your assistant manager. That's an interesting one. Gabriel price drop. Yeah, people getting rid of him, mate. Not for me. Gabriel, I think, is a season keep, to be honest. Unless I needed the cash, I wouldn't sell him. Cups, yeah, it's pretty wide open, to be honest. Yeah, it's pretty wide open. Glenn's got 76 points and didn't use any chips. Fair enough. Surprised to see so many people not using chips, to be honest. Palmer price drop. Yeah. I wouldn't sell Palmer, though. Not for me. He probably scores a hat-trick today against West Ham. What's his ownership at the moment, actually? Just going to have a quick look. It's obviously in my team. Let's have a quick look. 64%. Yeah, I mean, he's staying in my team, whatever happens. Quite a lot of people not use their chips. Interesting one. I didn't realise you were a Madrid fan, Cortex. Your team next season, mate, is going to be mental. Do you reckon you'll get Trent and Alphonso Davies? Espagnol. That would explain why the Madrid players were near Barcelona yesterday then. Or were they? I don't know. They might have been in Madrid. I can't remember. But yeah. For next game week, oh, Geddy. You're a legend. Thank you for the donation, mate. I triple captain Salah this week. 48 so far, but thinking of AM chip. I'd probably use it if you didn't have another chip in mind for that period of time. What managers to pick? We can have a look. Let's have a look at the fixtures. So if Villa double, I like the thought of using it on Emery. I really do. He's got Ipswich. If he does double, he's got Ipswich and then a potential double with Liverpool. So there's table bonus on the table in the second fixture. Who could you get after that? Who have Everton got? Everton have got Man United at home in 26. Is that table bonus though? I don't actually think it is. It just depends if you want to chase the table bonus, really. It just depends if you want to chase the table bonus. You know what? I'd probably leave it till later in the season, unless you wanted to chase after some table bonus. I think for me, gut feel is use it on Emery in 25. And then 26, I'm not massively sure who I'd use it on, really. Could Newcastle beat Forest at home? Potentially. Have they got the table bonus, though? I'm going to get the Prem table up, actually. No, Newcastle won't get the table bonus. Obviously, it all depends on what the league table looks like at that time as well, doesn't it? Who have Wolves got? Bournemouth away. Probably don't win that game, though, do they? People saying Pep potential. I think if you're playing the assistant manager against, like on a punt, you want there to be 5 places different. I don't think Pep v Man City is ticking that. Pep v Liverpool is ticking that box. Yeah, I'm not really seeing any massive opportunities for Game Week 26 assistant manager. 26 is rude. What with Brentford? You think? There is a table bonus there, to be fair. I keep your options open, mate, I think, because maybe later on in the season's the right time to do it. What was the rest of your question? I'll probably keep it for now, you know. I'll probably keep it. Consider using your bench booster or another chip, or just get as many players in as you can, to be honest, at double. That's probably what I'd do there. Hopefully that helps, Geddy. Sorry it's not a straight answer, but it's not an easy question to answer, is it, to be fair? We don't know what the next double game weeks yet are like yet, because they're all dependent on cup results, and we don't know what's going to happen in the cup. My pleasure, Geddy. I'm glad that helped you, mate. Thank you so much for the donation. That's extremely generous of you, my friend. Extremely generous. What games are there today? Oh, to be fair, my team will be... I could probably make a transfer plans video because I don't have a Man City or Arsenal player, to be fair. My rank could be impacted, but right now I don't have any Man City or Arsenal players, so I could make a transfer plans video, actually. Would anyone this evening want to see a transfer plans video? I can talk about my team, how it's gotten on, and my transfer plans. I know we've still got one game of the double still to go, but Palmer and Mbumo would have played, so I'll be kind of all out. So I'll do a transfer plans video this evening. How about that? We'll do that. We'll do that. Yeah, so Palmer's still not be here. I'll do a transfer plans video. I know there's still a lot of time to go, but I can give an update on my live rank and talk about my team, can't I? People want to see that. I'll also do a live stream straight after the last game as well. So that'll be, what, 6:30 till 7? I'll do a live stream. You know what? I actually, I think having a manager alongside your players in FPL could work. It's just a case of getting the points right. I don't think it would work if the point system was the same as it is this season. But I do quite like the thought of having a manager in there as well. But I just wouldn't. I wouldn't have the points quite as generous as they are this season. What to do with Isak Hall? Keep them. I'd keep them. They're both season holds for me, really. The only scenario where I would potentially sell Isak is Watkins if he doubles next week, but Watkins looks like he could be injured. Yeah, for Glenn, I completely agree with you, Glenn. That was why I played the assistant manager on Moyes, because I just think the table bonus on offer is huge, and I think you need to be targeting it with your assistant manager, to be completely honest. Rashford worth a punt? I don't know. I don't think so. I'm just not sure how many minutes he gets. Gordon to Rodgers, potentially. Yeah, I probably would. But again, I'd be a little bit worried about all the Villa players' minutes with all the bloody signings they've made. I don't think I'd buy Chris Wood. I don't think I would. It sounds mental, I know, but I don't think I'd buy Chris Wood. I think Wissa is arguably better with the fixtures that he's got. And also, you could go for a double game week 25 player as well. 294 people tuned in. Absolutely huge. If you haven't already, please leave a like rating on the stream. I'd really appreciate that. I'd really appreciate it if you could leave us a like. We're on 126. Let's see if we can get to 150 by the end of the stream. I'm using the assistant manager in managers which are mid-table. Yeah, it makes sense. I also think David Moyes and Graham Potter could be good assistant manager picks as well. In fact, Geddy asked a question. He's still in the chat. Let's have a quick look at Potter's fixtures. Potter. Oh, Arsenal away in 26. Everton have got Man United. That's not the table bonus. I don't know. Who have Palace got? Fulham. What's the table like? What's the table like? 300 viewers, absolutely huge. That's thanks to you guys leaving a like rating and getting the stream up in the algorithm. So I really appreciate that. Ooh, Crystal Palace, where are they? Maybe they'd have the bonus. Tottenham, who have Tottenham got in 26? Ipswich, there's no bonus available there either, is there? Yeah, it's really hard to play that assistant manager in 25 right now. I was just having a quick look at other ideas that I had. Cheers, guys. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. I appreciate that. All you need to do to take part in the chat is subscribe and hit the like rating if you're enjoying the stream. Foden to Clivert for a hit. Mate, absolutely not. I would not be doing that, I don't think. I'd also just hang fire on transfers before we get an announcement for 25, to be honest. Sarr to Clivert or Isak to Watkins if they double. Well, again, there's so much. Unfortunately, I can't answer that question straight because bloody Watkins came off with an injury, didn't he? So I can't say for sure that Watkins is a buy because he came off with an injury. I went Moyes assistant manager this week, was a bit unsure. Yeah, well, he's done all right so far. Obviously, you know, the next game is a punt, him against Liverpool, but it's at home. The last Merseyside derby at Goodison Park. You know, I think there's a narrative there, and I do think Everton could get a result in that game. I really do, which is why I went Moyes all along. I thought the Leicester game they'd be able to win. I didn't necessarily expect them to score 4 goals and keep a clean sheet, so that's obviously 6 points for that. So very happy, and then I'm happy to take the risk on the Liverpool game. I always did feel that the assistant manager is best deployed trying to target that table bonus. Trent has a quad injury. I think it's either a bit of tightness or a very, very slight strain. Might not be fit for the Everton game, but I think he'll be fine for Gameweek 25. Philly, I would probably triple captain him if he's not doubling. If he is doubling, sorry. Why not? Why not? I'll be live for another 10 minutes or so, and then I'm going to sign off. This is usually a dangerous question because the chat takes a turn when I say this, but I've spent the last hour talking about the games yesterday. So if anyone wants to ask me a question that isn't FPL, you're welcome to. Clivert has returned away from home recently, and now he's playing Southampton. Yeah, the Southampton fixture is really enticing, isn't it? The chances that Fulham get a double game week. Here we go. Rob T FPL has worked that out. Let's see. Rob T FPL has worked that out from the betting odds. There you go. You read that? So right now, based on the betting odds of the cup results, those are the percentage likelihoods of teams having double game weeks. One away from 150 likes. Come on, guys. 150 likes. Nearly there. 150. Huge. Thanks, everyone. Appreciate that. I'm going to go to this screen. I'll be live for another 5. So if you want to ask me stuff that isn't FPL, you're more than welcome to. I just really appreciate everyone joining the stream this morning. What a lovely way, by the way, to spend a Sunday morning. Going for a nice walk, chatting to you lot on stream. It's a sunny morning. Beautiful Bristol. Good times. Thoughts on Asensio? I don't rate him all that much, I've got to say. I don't know about you guys. I don't rate him all that much. Bath Gel, new subscriber. Oh, I appreciate that, man. Thank you very much. You won't be disappointed with what you get from me, hopefully. I'll have a live stream just after the game's finished today, and then I'll have a video out tonight as well. Abby is doing a stadium tour of St James's Park. That is huge. One of my best mates was at St James's Park yesterday to watch the Fulham game. Yeah, that's really cool. What's your favourite instant coffee? To be honest, mate, I'm not much of a coffee connoisseur, so I will just say like cheap. I think currently I have the Asda own brand gold coffee. I think it's what I drink at the moment. Just because I'm a caffeine addict, basically. I only have one a day, but it's nice to wake up and a couple hours later have a nice coffee. What is your favourite meal to have other than roast beef with your dad? It's probably, mate, to be honest, and I haven't had this for a long time. In my hometown, there's a curry house, and they do the best curry I've ever eaten. So it's probably a meal in there. Man, Luka Doncic traded to the Lakers is crazy. What a crazy move. Doesn't make sense for the Mavericks to me. Although I guess with Kyrie and Doncic playing together, I must say, I've not watched the NBA for a long time, but I get a feeling they might get into each other's way, Doncic and Kyrie Irving. So going for he's a power forward, isn't he, Anthony Davis? So going for him probably means they're a more balanced, well-rounded team, right? I don't know. I don't really watch the NBA. That's kind of my limited knowledge spoken about there. I am on 90 points. Yeah, I agree on Asensio. He also, I think did he miss a game? Was it Asensio that famously missed a game because he shaved his legs and got an infection from shaving his legs? A favourite biscuit? It's got to be a custard cream, I think, mate. Do you have a favourite team? I support two teams for my troubles. I support Man United and Bristol City. All my weights, Nick, I think you're going to do them over the 3 weeks. I really do, because there's going to be a double game week next week. When are you going to go to Tokyo? I actually don't know. It might well be 2026 when I go. I've already booked my next holiday. I'm going to go to Florence during the March international break. So I'm thoroughly looking forward to my trip to Florence. Also, can we refer to the assistant manager chip as Assman in the chat from now on, please? That would be great. Andrew used his triple captain, not Assman. And the leaders have not taken any chunks out of me so far. Nice one, mate. Geddy, thoughts on Rashford leaving? It's sad, isn't it? It's always sad when a player doesn't fulfill your expectations or potential. My thoughts on Rashford, and I don't mean to... So on this point I'm going to make, there's a human side and a purely football side, right? And I'm going to take emotion out of it. Human side, Rashford is obviously an incredible human being. The work he's done for charities, free school meals during COVID, and just the stuff that he's doing there is absolutely amazing. So on a human being level, you can't fault him. But from a purely, when you're focused purely on football, I do think when you make waves like that in your personal life, it's going to make you less interested in being a professional footballer. And I just don't think he is motivated enough to be a top professional footballer with all the other stuff that he's doing in his life. That's just my thoughts. And I'm not saying what he's doing in his life is bad, but purely when you talk about football, I think it's had an impact. That's my thoughts. And obviously, it's up to him what he does with his life. No one can tell him what he wants to do with his life. But I just think he's not been 100% dedicated to football. And in order to be, because football's the most competitive sport in the world, right? Most competitive sport in the world. Every kid when they're growing up wants to be a footballer. So in order to be the best footballer, you have to be 100% dedicated to football with no focus on anything else. And I just think that's what's held Rashford back. And I also think under Solskjaer, he played so many minutes that I think his body has somewhat broken down as well. Like that absolute raw, blistering pace that he had 2 or 3 seasons ago. I haven't seen that from him recently. So all of that together, I think, is why he's done that. Again, I'm not faulting him as a human for what he's done for all the charity work, but we're talking about football, and I'm answering that question specifically about football. Absolutely, Andrew. I mean, his life is sorted, isn't it? Absolutely agree with you, mate. That's my thoughts on Rashford. And when you study, like, again, I've done a lot of work on this. When you study the absolute number one people in sport, they are literally 100% dedicated to it, right? Every hour of their day is doing something that makes them better at sport. I mean, some of them, they don't have girlfriends or anything like that because they just want to be 100% dedicated to training. Like the most dedicated people I've seen in sports, my sport's swimming, Michael Phelps. Apparently he went from the run between the Athens 2004 Olympics to Beijing 2008. He didn't miss a single day of training. Like he didn't have a girlfriend. He didn't have any distractions. From 2004 to 2008, he trained every day, twice a day, was 100% focused on swimming, and obviously had the results he did at the Olympics. And then, if you probably all know the MMA fighter Khabib Nurmagomedov, him and his gym in Dagestan in Russia. Honestly, the people that fight there are just all they're interested in is Islam and fighting. That's all they do. They don't have anything. You don't have any distractions. They just fight and pray. That's all they do all day. And there's a reason why Khabib is he never lost a UFC fight, and why his other fighters in that gym are world class as well. If you want to do like absolute top level of sports, that's how you need to set your life up. And some people don't want to do that, which is totally cool. It just means you don't fulfill your potential in sport, basically. I'll stop monologuing about that, but that's the reality of it. Yeah, exactly, Andrew. There you go. Like Lewis, you think of another top level sports person as well, Lewis Hamilton. So Lewis Hamilton's 40. He's not married, doesn't have any children. He obviously, you can see he hangs out with women occasionally, but you know, he's not married and doesn't have children, I think, because he's so dedicated to Formula One. So he's another example, you know. I'm not saying getting married and having children is a bad thing, by the way. Definitely not. That's one of the things to aim for in life. But I think a lot of these sports people are deciding to do that after they retire from their sport, basically. Yeah, Vitor Pereira got a 20-pointer. Absolutely. 100%. That assistant manager chip is so powerful when you use it. When you use it for the table bonus. 100%. Well, again, I'll be very careful what I say here, because having children is a very good thing, right? But if you're a professional athlete and you've got a baby that's crying every night, waking you up at 1 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m., and you're a pro footballer, you're not going to be recovering as well when you're sleeping. It's not ideal, is it? If you want to be a top athlete, that's my argument. That's what I'm trying to say there. Those kind of distractions are what will eventually hold people back, I think. But then you've got the other side of the coin with Ronaldo and Messi, who have, you know, I guess they're more family men than like going out and getting drunk at the weekends, which I guess is a better alternative, right? And for that reason, it's sad. That's the reason why I don't have kids or a dog at the moment, because I just don't have the time. It wouldn't be fair for me to have a pet. It's just how it works, I'm afraid. And yeah, well, I mean, I can't, Eosaurus, I can't pretend to be able to relate to that, but I'm sure that's the case. There you go. There's hopefully that wasn't a depressing talk, because that's just the realities, isn't it, of being a top level sports person. I think Watkins is one of the most dedicated athletes I've seen in the Premier League, to be honest. When you see the journey that Watkins has been on, from like playing League One football to scoring in the semi-finals of the Euros, I think Watkins is one of the most dedicated footballers I've ever seen. And the fact that he doesn't get injured all the time either. Geddy, appreciate that, mate. I'll be live for another 5 minutes, and then I'm going to sign off and go home for a roast dinner, if that's all right. Do I want Man United to win 3-0? I want them to win, but I don't want it to damage my FPL too much. How about that? I'm really sorry to say this, but as a Man United fan, I find it so hard to support them at the moment, and I'm almost of the mind that I care more about FPL than Man United right now. I appreciate that, Sad. Honestly, all I can say is it's just ruthless consistency is how you make it on YouTube. I'm not going to lie, there have been so many times where I couldn't be bothered to make a video, but I just did. I just got it out. That's the same with everything, right? Discipline and patience is what you need to make it in something, I think. Discipline to do it when you don't want to, and patience to wait for it to all pay off when you put in the work. Thank you, Shaniel. It has been a while, mate. I hope you're well. Lots have happened since I last spoke to you. I imagine you're pretty chuffed about the Hamilton to Ferrari move, I'm guessing. Kevin Schade hat-trick. We'll see, man. We'll see. I do think Brentford are gonna do well today. I think they're going to score some goals. I think they're going to score some goals for sure. Never been happier. Yeah, I hope the car does the job. I agree. We'll see. There's I don't know if anyone else is an F1 fan here, but there's a rumor, like the vibes I get is that somehow Ferrari have had the best winter of all the teams. But I don't know. I still think the car to beat at Melbourne will be the McLaren. I think the McLaren's going to be the quickest car. I don't know what you guys think. I think the McLaren will probably be the quickest car. It's Norris's chance, to be honest. It's Norris's big chance this season to win a title, I think. He'll probably have the fastest car at the start of the season. He's clearly, I wouldn't say the absolute number one driver, but he's got an edge. He's got a 10th here or there on Piastri. The only thing I would say about Norris is, I think I've said this on previous streams as well, I just don't think he's ruthless enough to be a world champion. I think he's a bit too nice. Whereas you've got Verstappen, who will, I mean, he is willing to put not only his own life on the line, but another driver's life on the line to outbrake someone. He's proven that time and time again. But he does have a child now, does Verstappen. So I do wonder if that will change his driving. I do think that might change his driving. It would also be interesting to see how close Liam Lawson can get to Verstappen, because I do think Lawson is a sensational driver. I think he's basically Daniel Ricciardo Mark II, to be honest. So I'm hoping that Verstappen can get a bit of a challenge from his teammate. But so I'll describe that Red Bull car as really quite sensitive. So when you nail it and know how to drive it, it's absolutely on the money. But when you're just a little bit off, it doesn't quite perform. And that, I think, explains the difference between Verstappen and Perez. So it's just whether Liam Lawson can compete. I'll be intrigued to see if that can happen. Anyway, I'm trying to sound like I know about sports. I've spoken about Premier League, NBA, and now F1. I'm not going to pretend I know about tennis. I'm not going to pretend I know about tennis. Has Hulkenberg got a seat this year? Does he? I hope he does. I'm not sure he does, though. I completely agree, Andrew. Hulkenberg is one of the best one-lap splash and dash qualifiers I've ever seen. He is, on his day, he's unbelievable. Steve, I'm really sorry to hear about Chris Wood being sold. He's at stake. Okay, cool. Kick Sauber. Got ya. It's a shame. It's the worst car, isn't it? That car was an absolute boat last year, wasn't it? Are they, after this season, are they going to be rebranded? Are they going to be rebranded? I don't know. Cheers, John. I think it's roast pork today, actually. Not 100% sure, though. Rebranded. They're going to be Audi. Nice one. I'll stay till 1:15, another 5 minutes, and then we'll go from there. FPL Olympian is getting absolutely ripped on Twitter as well. It's quite funny. I'm going to do a funny tweet. I'm going to find a picture of me from an old holiday. Yeah, kick salvers all over the place, isn't it? I don't think Asensio will be any good. I don't think Vaseline, you can say the triple captain won just yet, to be honest with you. It's only one game gone. Pretty good week for you, Shaniel. Bloody hell. Yeah, that's incredible. We are going to witness first-minute goal from Brentford. We'll see. Right. I think I'm going to sign off, guys, if that's all right. Been live for an hour and 20. I'm going to go home, have a roast dinner, work on my next video. I'll be live again at 6:30 p.m. after the Arsenal-Man City game. And then I'll have a transfer plans video coming out just after that. So, yeah. There's a lot of stuff going on today. So I'm gonna save myself. I hope everyone has a good Sunday. All the very best. I'll catch you later on. Good God. That smile, by the way. Sorry, folks. That smile was the cringiest thing I've ever done in my life.